Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be looking at a company that is really kind of shaking things up in the global auto industry,
Yeah.
BYD, the Chinese electric car manufacturer. And we've got some really interesting sources
Yeah.
for offer different perspectives on this whole thing.
Yeah, we're looking at Kalpurnia Insights.
Mm-hmm.
That's with a European perspective on the EV market. And then
Yeah.
we've got the Electric Viking. That's a YouTube channel
Right.
out of Australia.
And I guess our kind of mission today is like, how is BYD? How are they pulling this off?
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing that's leading to this incredible success they're having?
Yeah. Their meteoric rise.
And then also, like, what does it mean for the the global auto market? Especially some of these more traditional car companies that maybe have been a little slower to adapt to the electric revolution.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that Kalpurnia Insights points out is that China has just had such a head start in this space with EVs and the battery tech. They've been, really heavily invested in it for over a decade now. And they actually use the term monster lead over Europe,
Wow.
who've been much slower on the uptake.
So it's not even just about building the cars. It's like they've been building this whole ecosystem
The whole ecosystem
for electric vehicles.
for over a decade, yeah.
And they've been doing it systematically, it sounds like.
And that's one of the places where BYD's early investment is really paying off, is that they've had the foresight to, develop their own battery tech, and they're now the second largest battery producer in the world.
Wow. Second largest in the world. Is that, like, are they even close to the largest producer?
It's a massive achievement.
Yeah.
And that scale gives them such a huge advantage in terms of cost and just control over their supply chain, something most other automakers just can't match at the moment.
So you've got China doing this over here, systematically building this whole EV ecosystem, and then the Electric Viking kind of gives us a taste of how BYD is entering a new market. Yeah. Like Australia. And he doesn't mince words. He calls it a price war.
Yeah, bloodbath.
Yeah, he says they're undercutting the established brands by thousands of dollars.
Yeah, he gives some concrete examples too, like the BYD Dolphin hatchback is going for about $19,000 US, which is just unheard of.
Wow.
For a new EV. And then their Atto 3 SUV is coming in significantly cheaper than competitors like the Toyota Arrive V4 hybrid.
Right.
And even with offering more technology.
It's a bold move to go right after, Toyota.
Yeah.
Especially in a market like Australia, I feel like.
Yeah, where brand loyalty is huge.
It's like they're not afraid to really disrupt and ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, and what's interesting too is that they're not just undercutting on price, they're also packing their vehicles with really innovative features. Things like their Blade battery technology, which is known for its safety and efficiency.
Right. So it's not just like they're making a cheap car. They're actually like pushing the boundaries
From the envelope
of EV technology.
Yeah, for sure.
And this leads to a really interesting comparison that the Electric Viking makes. And he's talking about BYD versus Tesla.
Right.
And he's arguing that BYD is coming for Tesla's market share by offering comparable vehicles at significantly lower price points.
Which is a huge challenge for Tesla.
Yeah.
Who's been, dominating that market for so long.
So you've got this dynamic emerging where BYD is leveraging, these early investments they made.
Right.
The scale at which they can produce, the fact that they own they produce their own batteries to offer these high-tech EVs, but at these incredibly competitive prices.
Yeah.
And it's putting the pressure on, both the traditional automakers, but then also these pioneers in the EV space like Tesla.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, this leads to a bigger question about the future of the global auto industry. Can traditional car companies adapt quickly enough to compete with this kind of agility and innovation?
It's a big question, and it's one we're going to continue to explore as we kind of delve deeper into these sources.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you wonder what that means for a company like Toyota,
Right.
who's built their reputation on, reliability and service.
Right.
Can that compete when you've got a company like BYD that's offering, cutting-edge tech at a lower price?
Well, the Electric Viking argues that Toyota's current strategy of emphasizing service, that might not be enough in the long run. And I think that buyers are, especially younger generations, they're increasingly prioritizing value and innovation.
Yeah, people want the new stuff, and they want it.
Yeah.
At a price they can afford.
Exactly.
And speaking of the new stuff, the Electric Viking really digs into some of the key strategies that BYD is using.
Right.
And he emphasizes their massive scale.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking millions of cars produced every year.
Yeah, just the sheer volume is incredible.
And then on top of that, they own their battery production,
Right.
which makes them less reliant on
External suppliers.
all these outside forces.
Yeah, that vertical integration is a major advantage
Yeah.
because it allows them to control costs and quality so much more effectively. And, it's a model that Tesla also uses,
Right.
and it's clearly proving to be successful.
So BYD's really playing the long game here,
Yeah.
investing heavily in technology, building a vertically integrated supply chain. It's like they're setting themselves up for long-term success.
Absolutely. And Kalpurnia Insights reminds us that this isn't just a Chinese story.
Right.
They highlight the fact that the U.S. is also rapidly adopting EVs,
Okay.
leaving Europe trailing behind.
Really?
And they're quite critical of those clinging to combustion engine vehicles. They actually use the phrase nostalgici delle auto termiche,
What does that mean?
which translates to those nostalgic for gasoline cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they're saying, Europe needs to wake up and smell the electricity.
Smell the electric fumes.
Yeah, but I think it raises a really important question. What are the implications for European automakers if they don't catch up?
Yeah. I mean, are they going to lose out?
Yeah, they risk losing market share, not only in Europe, but globally.
Right.
And I think BYD's success is a clear indication that this market is becoming increasingly competitive.
Yeah.
And companies that fail to adapt risk being left behind.
So it's not even just transitioning to electric vehicles. It's like
It's about embracing innovation.
you got to control your supply chain.
Yeah.
You got to offer compelling products at competitive prices.
Exactly. And it all brings us back to BYD and their just remarkable growth trajectory. I mean, the Electric Viking mentions that they're projected to sell over 5 million cars this year,
Wow.
which is just a staggering increase from just a few years ago.
So it seems like they're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Their pricing strategy is shaking things up.
Yeah.
Their focus on innovation and vertical integration is like setting them up for sustained growth.
It's a really powerful combination, and it kind of begs the question, what does this mean for the future of car ownership?
Yeah. Are we all going to be driving electric BYDs
Right, exactly.
in a couple of years?
It's certainly a possibility.
It's wild. I mean, they've proven that they can disrupt the market,
Yeah.
challenge the status quo.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as the biggest takeaway from all this?
I think what's fascinating to me is how they're kind of rewriting the playbook.
No.
They're not just competing on price. They're innovating and building their own technology at just an unprecedented scale.
Like we're not slowing down.
Not at all. The Electric Viking even mentions they're already expanding into Europe and Australia.
Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see them enter North America soon.
Oh, wow.
Imagine that BYD's cruising down Main Street, USA.
That's crazy.
It's a real possibility, and it just highlights how quickly this landscape is changing.
Yeah, it really is a thrilling time to be following this industry.
Absolutely.
It's a little anxiety-inducing as well.
Right.
Like, are the traditional car companies going to go the way of the dinosaurs? Is charging infrastructure going to keep up with, this rapid adoption of EVs? I mean, what do you think for our listener out there? What's the most important thing to kind of keep in mind as we navigate this as electric revolution?
I think the key takeaway is that the future of mobility is going to be very different from what we're used to. We're seeing a fundamental shift in the way cars are designed, manufactured, and sold.
And it's happening fast. I mean, we've gone from a world dominated by gasoline-powered cars to a world where electric vehicles are becoming the norm.
Yeah.
And companies like BYD are at the forefront of this transformation. Man, it's a lot to process.
It is.
From price wars in Australia to these battery breakthroughs in China, we've covered so much ground today in our deep dive into BYD.
And we've only just scratched the surface. I mean, there's so much more to explore about the technology, the market forces, the global implications of this electric revolution.
It's like we need a whole other deep dive to just talk about batteries.
Exactly.
But before we get too carried away, let's bring it back to you, our listener.
Yeah.
We've talked about BYD's incredible growth,
Mm-hmm.
their strategic advantages.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean for you?
Right.
How do you think this landscape of car ownership is going to change over the next, 5 to 10 years?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
Will range anxiety be a thing of the past? Will we see charging stations on every corner like we see gas stations today?
Right. Will our homes become these mini power plants, feeding energy back into the grid
Exactly.
from our electric cars?
It's all fascinating.
I mean, it's an exciting time
It is.
to be a car enthusiast, maybe a little bit uncertain as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But one thing's for sure, the future of driving is electric.
Absolutely.
And BYD is a force to be reckoned with.
Without a doubt.
Well, this has been a truly electrifying deep
I
dive.
like that.
If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations into the world's most pressing topics. And we always love to hear from you. So what stood out to you from this deep dive? What questions are still buzzing around in your head? Head over to our website or our social media channels and let us know.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Until next time, keep exploring.